Erica Mina murmured. "Yandandi, you really thought I was going to stay silent?" As she dropped the dirtiest, nastiest bombshell of 2025. She ain't. We're talking about Yandi's husband, her so-called king, and she's exposing lies by saying that Mendez, not Safari, is the father of her child. They tried to conceal the DNA test, but Erica claimed they burned it, so she left everything. Now, all of a sudden, Erica's baby daddy is here. What the hell is going on? "I knew that baby ain't look like Safari," she said, yelling and trembling live while removing her wig and claiming that this is war-related and not reality TV. Consider whether Erica is telling the truth about the hush money covert late night visits, maternity hospital lockdowns, and the fact that even the producers were unable to handle this situation. In all honesty, how long has Mendeecees been lying? And if she is, why does the baby resemble him? Stay locked in because what's going to happen next will ruin families, expose producers, and completely change the course of events. Let's go back in time because this didn't begin when Erica shared a mysterious picture of her child's face with the statement, "His real father knows who he is." No, this dates back to private planes, sealed locker rooms, covert Atlanta reunions, and a DNA test that supposedly disappeared before the results were released. Ever gone public, let's discuss the true problem that lies beneath this insanity. Erica Mina is notorious for her explosive breakups and reality TV outbursts, and forcing her co-stars to face reality has now taken her chaos in a whole different direction, directly into Yandandi Smith's house. And her Weapon A insiders confirm that we have him. Erica has been implying for months that her child had nothing to do with Safari, but everyone assumed after their breakup, Erica was quiet for a reason. She was waiting, taking photos of hospital records, Uber logs, and other documents. According to one, an unidentified love and hip-hop employee even recorded Mendeecees stating, "What if that baby is indeed mine? Allow that to sink in." According to insiders, Erica and Mendeecees had a secret dinner in 2023, so this isn't an accident. When Mona Scott was grinning behind the scenes while filming a crossover reunion special, the producers allegedly turned off the cameras for 2 hours without giving a reason. 2 hours later, Erica was spotted exiting Mendeecees' hotel floor wearing a hoodie and sunglasses. 10 minutes later, he emerged wearing the same attire, save for his shirt. Yandi said she had no idea what was happening, but then she began posting dubious Instagram stories, so it was either a coincidence or a cover-up, discussing those who smile in your face while sleeping with your mistakes are not trustworthy. Everyone believed she was intended for Cambella or Chrissy, but it turns out that the true dagger was for Erica. But wait, it gets worse, because Erica claims to have taken the initial DNA test at a private facility in Miami, not just any walk-in lab. We're referring about one of those upscale clinics in the vein of Beverly Hills where they provide you with cucumber water as they wreck your life, she says, adding that the results showed Mendeecees to be the father. But before she could make her public debut, a production representative contacted and advised her to wait. They reportedly gave her $75,000 to be silent, and were discussing the breakdown of a whole black reality royalty marriage, so settle it discreetly, girl, for a secret like this. Erica stated, "I've been purchased previously, but not now." Not to be outplayed, she went directly to her attorney, who allegedly sent a demand letter to. When the second bomb went off, the producers asked for the original DNA documentation to be made public, but the lab claimed they never got it. Samples. How did that occur? You tell me that 2 persons came in for testing, left their samples, and when they received the results, you lost the files. No. Someone Erica says Yandandi was the one who pulled the strings to make the test vanish, and she thinks Yandandi dispatched someone to delete that evidence, from her public relations team to take care of it. And within 48 hours, the lab's website crashed due to maintenance personnel changing their phone numbers, and the test physician was, "You still believe that this is minor drama while on vacation in Spain, but we're talking about serious reputation control, covert bribery, and a baby caught in the middle." In the midst of a controversy that will soon blow up on every American television, let's talk about the baby because this isn't just a multi-pronged discussion. Comparisons of men's and Erica's baby boy's noses, smiles, and even that trademark smirk in images have already been published on blogs. Yo, that baby got Mendeecees' whole face and ain't got not one Safari feature. Fans are commenting in the comments. Even worse, Safri hasn't shared any pictures or videos of the child online, not even a passive-aggressive statement about paternity. According to insiders, he has no idea and has only recently arrived. He reportedly requested a paternity test as soon as Erica informed him she was expecting, and when the results were inconclusive, and he supposedly withdrew all financial assistance and disappeared from public appearances. He canceled because he didn't want to be engaged in something he didn't sign up for, but Yandy's response is what turns everything around, is unexpected. You would think that a lady would stand up for her husband no matter what, but not this time when Erica went live and alluded to the baby turmoil. Throughout the whole 15-minute Instagram live, Yandy paced back and forth, pulling her lashes off and screaming, "You trifling Erica," without denying it. "Emily, you destroyed my family." She never said, "Men didn't do it." Not she said, "The baby ain't his," once. She simply yelled, and her silence spoke more than words could. Could you hear Yandy screaming into her phone, her voice breaking like glass? "You damaged my family, Erica, but what sent the internet into a frenzy?" The collapse in her eyes, which was more than simply fury, was what caused cardiac arrest, a woman's dread that her husband may have gone out once more, but this time they carried a baby and receipts. The blogs had already grabbed the attention of the public just minutes after Yandandy went live. Titles like, "Yandandy breaks down admits marriage is in shambles over DNA drama," and "Erica Mana goes for blood" were plastered on the video clip, supposedly. Abandoned following the baby announcement, followed by images that a Twitter user shared of purported text exchanges between Mendeecees and, "You know this changes everything if he mine, we need to talk," men stated in Erica's messages. Another message appeared. Yandy isn't yet able to know. Additionally, the timestamps coincided 2 weeks before to the baby's birth. "God gives his strongest soldiers his toughest battles," Yandandy wrote. Sayings such as, her life wasn't a full-fledged exposure campaign was now taking place, and Erica was leading it like a woman with nothing left to do. It was no longer drama. After that, there was the leak that almost brought Instagram to its knees. An unidentified source posing as a love and hip-hop field producer sent out a blast email too. There were some media outlets that featured security camera footage from a posh hotel lobby in Atlanta, not uncut behind the scenes or B-roll. Is spotted, arriving with his helper, and 20 minutes later, Erica appears wearing a blonde wig and a big sweatshirt, doing everything she can to cameras. The two ascend to the penthouse level, and Erica remains there for 6 hours. To be clear, this wasn't ancient film. The timestamp indicates that it was taken 6 weeks before. To the Erica shared a photo from a secret station on her Instagram story with the description, "Sometimes you had to disappear to find truth or peace. Chile, this is war, not peace, but..." As Erica was launching, Mendeecees handled his digital grenades in a genuine man's way by sharing a silent Instagram story with a blank screen and a single caption. He made no declarations or tweets. Private, which is adorable, but whose business, sir? Public opinion was deteriorating, fans were split, and the comment sections appeared to be computerized. "Y'all always blaming the woman if Mendeecees stayed loyal. This wouldn't be happening," a Battlefields fan wrote. Another replied, "Erica could have chosen anyone, but she chose him. Come on now, why would she lie when she had everything to lose?" Others weren't entirely certain, stating that it's difficult to distinguish between reality TV bait and real stunts because of Erica's history. But here's the this time, it's more than just words. There's a baby, and the infant is already making. News, according to an unnamed hospital nurse, supposedly got in touch with a gossip blog and claimed that Erica informed the staff that the baby's birth certificate did not include the father's name. Certificate? But I must first verify a claim made by another source that guys arrived at the hospital parking area. However, he never entered. Instead, he paced back and forth for 45 minutes before leaving, because he was afraid Yandy's family had already discovered that you couldn't make. In the meantime, Yandy's staff moved into overdrive to repair the damage, and her public relations manager issued a scathing statement from Yandy Smith Harris. "Won't be responding to unfounded rumors intended to harm her family." But not all reports indicate that Yandandy contacted Mona Scott right away. Mona allegedly opposed Young's demand that some of the sequences with Erica be removed from future episodes, and you already know how Erica reacted, wrote, "I guess I'm too real for reality TV," in the description of a tale they had shared. But guess who wasn't keeping still? Samantha, Mendeecees' ex-girlfriend, abruptly joined the fray with a sloppy little Instagram live saying, removed from future episodes, and you already know how Erica reacted. Wrote, I guess I'm too real for reality TV, in the description of a tale they had shared, but guess who wasn't keeping still? Samantha, Mendeecees' ex-girlfriend, abruptly joined the fray with a sloppy little Instagram live saying, this ain't even the first time. After Mendeecees stepped out on Yandandi, he became careless. I've been saying it, and now the truth is coming. To light. She then revealed the truth. According to Bomb Samantha, Mendeecees called her last year to ask if they could go back in time and said she wouldn't be shocked if there were more than one. Say what now, secret baby? Erica is stating on live that Mendeecees is the father of her child Yandandi, and she isn't disputing it at all. Missing security film from a DNA test, an ex-girlfriend spilling tea, a baby whose paternity hasn't been publicly proven, and guess, who still that man shared a story of himself at a Miami pool party with models, seeming like nothing was wrong. Some of y'all need my not marriage. Sir. But let's not share. Remember that the whole love and hip-hop brand might be destroyed by this controversy, because rumors are circulating that Erica has already signed. She wants live results, a stage, and a live audience as part of an exclusive, televised paternity special that is purportedly called Whose Baby Is It Anyway? Mendeecees' mail in the host's hand and Erica on the other, with Mona allegedly refusing to air it because it would be exploitative and unethical. But supposedly, one of the executive producers doesn't agree and is attempting to sell it to Zeus or BET+, because, let's face it, in this modern age of viral content, Erica is selling it like crazy. She even altered her Instagram bio to unbothered unbought. The truth doesn't sell, but pandemonium does. Unrepentant, and responded with a clap when a fan said, this too shall pass, saying that it won't, until the truth is revealed, and believe me, it will happen soon. And suddenly, Erica had the whole internet on edge. The truth is coming, she said, using only 3 words. It was necessary to transform a messy controversy into a media frenzy, and the purported court was the first to leak. Documents that a well-known gossip website said they obtained demonstrating that Erica had formally submitted a request for paternity testing in Mendeecees Harris was sued in Fulton County Court, and under the claimed father box, his complete name, legal spelling, birthday, and according to one insider, the judge mandated that a private lab conduct a confidential DNA test without any cameras, media, or distractions, but you already know. Not even 24 hours later, the lab results were leaked, and to be clear, Erica didn't share them, so someone couldn't keep their mouth shut, weren't uploaded by Yandandi or Mendeecees. Rather, they were uploaded by a close family friend who obviously wanted to see the world they created. The laboratory result that said, sometimes silence ain't strength, it's guilt. The likelihood of paternity is 99 in strong black text. 92%. Let me reiterate that for the internet didn't simply respond. It crashed Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and even Facebook. Aunts couldn't believe that memes were taking off and films were becoming viral. Fans were combining pieces of Yandi's previous movies on loyalty and king behavior, with Yandandi disappeared, leaving no posts or stories, while the followers cheered and wept and took sides as Erica walked slowly into court like she was in a scandal episode. Mysterious tweets, nothing but silence, and then the unexpected bomb. According to several sources, Andy filed for a split. Mendeecees received an official notice from Yandi's attorneys asking for a temporary legal separation, citing irreparable hurt, humiliation, and emotional distress. Now, this is more than just a disaster. It's a full-fledged reality TV earthquake. But wait, things get even more twisted since Menz is now pushing back in accordance with A. He's saying that the baby was conceived while he and Yandi were on vacation, according to a leaked email between his crew and a network producer. Yes, he pulled the Ross. This ain't no scandal, we were on a break. I ain't cheat, I ain't hide nothing. According to Geller Card, Erica knew what it was. But if it's true, why would you tell Yandi a falsehood, conceal the hospital stay, and tell Erica that we need to speak if the baby is mine? Fans aren't buying the "we were on a break" explanation, and Mendeecees' post has a remark that reads, No, you weren't on a break when you was sharing pictures of their anniversary and discussing Forever My Queen 4. Another person commented, you weren't taking a vacation, you were just careless. In the meantime, Erica is out there living her best villain origin story, giving interviews, and she even stated in a podcast that, I only revealed the truth. The lies destroyed their family. But it's not quite over yet, as some insiders claim. That VH1 is currently in a panic, and executives are discussing whether to halt the upcoming. The reason for this is that Yandhi apparently won't film with anyone who even speaks to Erica, which includes 2 producers, half of the cast, and a courting. To an insider, Mona was overheard at a meeting saying, if they want to act like children, we'll treat them like children. Mona herself and Mona are over it. Since we've swapped out greater performers in the past, there are now rumors that Mona is planning a relaunch with a brand new cast, a new city, and no Yandhi, Erica, or Mendes. As all of this is happening, the baby is already trending, with people sharing pictures of him alongside Mendeecees discussing his on Twitter. Some people are even referring to the baby as Lilies, which is really disrespectful. But you know who else? Just Jim Jones. Yes, the Jim. Jones entered the chat. He performed an Instagram live, and when someone inquired about the drama, Jim shook his head and stated, I just have one sentence to say, men's wild and man. Now the entire Dipset section of the internet is mocking Mendes as if the Super Bowl, was a disaster. On Facebook, Mama Jones even commented, I always told Yandhi to keep your eyes open. You couldn't make this up if you tried, but despite the drama, ladies will rock your little world, and guess who enjoyed the post? There's more to this than just memes, side glances, and subtweets. If the paternity test is legitimate and all the evidence points to it, then this scandal isn't merely embarrassingly, it's legal. According to several sources, Erica may now sue Mendes for child support in addition to the usual amount since he's AA court might mandate that a public personality who is a reality star and is purportedly still bound by his contract with VH1 pay celebrity tier child support rates. That's between $15,000 and $20,000 a month, and guess who could testify? Yes, if Erica's attorneys insist on full support. Given that they are still legally married, Yandhi may be called to testify about their joint company ventures, home finances, and timelines. Therefore, if Mendeecees begin to owe a significant amount of money, Yandhi's assets may also be affected. You can see where this is headed. This baby bombshell might literally blow up 3, the credibility of a whole franchise, 2 TV careers, and houses. And what is Erica doing now, posting TikToks with captions like, I couldn't. I brought up the DNA legendary behavior to do it. Without any drama. But let's get to the heart of the matter. Was this all planned by Erica? She waited for the filming to resume before revealing the information in stages. First the shade, then the receipts, and last the results, which she shared on every blog and with every follower. Producers are now contacting her for interviews and podcasts, requesting exclusives, and there is a rumored 6-figure Zeus Network offer for a spin-off series. He's out here avoiding the law, and this woman may have just turned a scandal into a solo career comeback. Cameras and repercussions while his image is literally trending as the year's father. But now we have a child, a DNA test, a divorced couple, and a woman who he is the father of my child. All right, family, now it's your chance. What do you think about this whole situation? He destroyed the entire industry with a single sentence. The story of Yandhi and Erica Mendes. Was Erica justified in revealing the DNA bombshell? Or is this just another clumsy ploy to remain relevant? Actual victim in this case? Or did she ignore it for far too long? What about Mendeecees? Is he the antagonist, the victim, or somewhere in the middle? I would like to hear your honest thoughts about this tumultuous love triangle, including your sexiest thoughts, most outrageous beliefs, and even the most bizarre conspiracy theories. If you're here for the drama, the shade, and the tea, you already know what to do. Smashed that. Don't hold back in your comments below. This story is too juicy for silence. Like Erica smashed the button internet with this discovery, sign up and press the alert button so you never pause when the following bombshell. Because, believe me, this is still ongoing, and please let me know if you have any advice, insider knowledge, or simply want me to discuss further tales similar to this slip into the remarks or message me on social media. We are creating a truth-based community. There are tea spillers and seekers here, and you are included in it. Keep in mind the largest secrets always surface when you least expect them to. Anticipate it, and the upcoming video may just stay away from exposing the person you least suspect. Stay alert and wary. Awake. Kept an eye on since we're just getting began with peace, love, and all the drama. In the following one, in addition to being tricked, Jim Jones was broadcast on television. Cameron tapped a USB to play a video of Chrissy in a hotel wearing heels and a hoodie after he had been sitting in court like a king for a minute. Let Jim continue to be foolish. In the room with someone else, he was seen on camera laughing and saying things he doesn't understand. Have you ever witnessed a man's heart leave his body? Jim said nothing, didn't blink, didn't speak. Mama Jones froze Cameron, smiling as if he had waited 10 years, and he just stared at the TV as if it were the funeral of his sanity. We then inquire, how many more clips does Cam have? Chrissy was aware that the camera was rolling and that this was a successful and heartfelt performance, not an accidental release. When everyone is seeing your life in 4K go apart, how do you continue? Is it a long-term fraud or love? Hold on tight, because Jim Jones won't be returning after this. Jim Jones was shown with his hands shaking, his spirit half out of his body, and his body slumped in a courtroom chair. A USB was the first step. This clean, time-stamped film, there was no grain or, maybe that's her moment, took place around 9:13 p.m. in Soho, outside the Moran Hotel. Chrissy pulled a hoodie over her head, as if someone had anticipated that it would soon be on show in court. She looked from side to side as if the city was watching her every move, and the man who opened the door wasn't Jim. People began discussing Reggie's name inside the apartment. Chrissy claims that the person who had a muffled cell call months prior was only a friend, but this HD video showed complete betrayal, and the moment Cameron, you sensed the change in energy as you handed that USB to the court clerk. Jim stood up more erectly, as though he was already aware of the room's cooling. However, seeing and knowing are two different things. A great deal of discomfort since Chrissy returned to the hallway as soon as she entered the hotel room and muttered, into her phone. Jim still thinks I'm at my relative's. He is that simple. Jim sat with his eyes glazed, breathing slowly and softly, and suddenly he fell with one arm and one hand on his chest, as though his skeleton had melted. Cam slumped back in his chair like a man who had been waiting 10 years for karma to cash the check as the courtroom exploded in tension, but not loudly. Chrissy sat still, as though she was witnessing a scene she had seen 100 times before. But Cam didn't. The courtroom exploded as baifs rushed in, calling for EMTs, and that was just the first 37 seconds of the clip. The rest was filled with silence, lies, and the ride-or-die narrative that was designed for reality TV. Undone. 2 glasses of wine and a playlist are playing on the speaker as the film moves to the inside of the room, and Chrissy giggles quietly. As she goes on, this is I could relate to the statement since it said, with you, I breathe and don't feel suffocated in someone else's life. Insiders claim that Jim, who last year participated on 3 different podcasts, is now hearing Chrissy state that she felt dead inside of him, calling her his oxygen on day 1 and the reason I survived. Chrissy was aware of the camera. The room belonged to a friend of Reggie's who regularly took precautionary videos and was surprised that he would eventually obtain the tape, though it's still unclear how Cameron obtained it. Some claim Cam had someone on the inside, while others think Reggie lost it after Chrissy left him last month. In any case, the one thing that no one could ever have was Cameron's conviction that there was evidence. And not just any evidence, but evidence that was unquestionably scandalous and emotionally devastating. However, legal concerns aside, this was about retaliation, not the court. And Cam didn't just file the USB as part of a defamation complaint, alleging that Jim attempted to defame him during a 2022 VH1 production meeting. He served it cold because, yes, Mama Jones was in court. Jim's mother was watching, and she got up so quickly when Jim struck the ground that security believed she was going to rush Chrissy and yell, "You lied!" Before being brought away, she cried, "To my son, you used him." And TMZ saw her pacing the pavement while shouting into her phone. The judge had to halt the trial for a whole hour indoors while EMTs assessed Jim's vitals and verified he hadn't suffered a heart attack. This is why I never trusted that woman I told Jim day one, she continued. She would ruin him. Just a trauma-induced collapse. The internet erupted in music seconds after Cameron revealed the Chrissy hotel tape, and within 20 minutes of its release, every meme showing Jim Jones's breakdown went viral. One of them remarked, "Bro got folded like the sheets Chrissy left in," revealing Jim's face on a mattress, the hotel. Another featured Cameron smiling like Thanos while clutching the USB and the final Infinity Stone. But this wasn't a simple Twitter joke session because the DA halted the trial once more and drew the judge aside after the entire 4-minute tape began to play. This happened because the video wasn't just. The court was already looking into Chrissy's involvement in a closed charity fraud case, as you can see from the hotel recording, and proof of adultery supposedly exposed potential obstructive activity. What began as a reality TV show may now incur additional expenses. Reggie helped me clean that mess up, and I told them it was a donation. I warned you she wasn't loyal. I merely provided you what you needed to heal. Cam got up when the court called a break, and he turned to Jim. This left Cam incomplete, and heartbreak has led to a possible federal lawsuit. Jim remained motionless and stared straight ahead as if the entire world had gone silent, and Chrissy. She, a courtroom lip reader sitting 3 seats behind her, claims that she leaned over to her lawyer and whispered something saying, "Inform the judge that I was drunk. The video is irrelevant." When the court reconvenes next week, Cam's legal team will be there to deliver 2 further videos and a voicemail that was leaked from Chrissy to Mona Scott. Out of context, girl, it was 4K multi-angle with audio, but we're just getting started. If even half of the suspicions about that call are accurate, Jim Jones won't be the only one who loses everything. The courtroom was still bustling when the break finished, but no one was prepared for what was about to happen since the entire VH1 franchise will be on fire just as everyone was catching up. We have more audio and video. Cameron's attorney got up and said 7 words that stopped the judge cold, using their breath from the hotel footage. You could hear the mumbling as suspicion swept through the throng, causing Chrissy to go pale, Jim to not even look up, and Mama Jones to need to be restrained before she could return to the courtroom. The judge then asked for an explanation after the hearings, and Cam's lawyer calmed down. This is a message that Ms. A message left by Lampkin on Mona Scott Young's phone 3 weeks before to the filming was played by the clerk, and 10 seconds later, Jaws played Chrissy's voicemail, exposing not just an adultery scandal, but also a scheme that might end the franchise. Mona, your voice is quite clear. I told you that if Jim discovers that the entire season is ruined, Cam won't be able to find out either. He'll use it. Reggie remarked, I need you to handle the room film because it was erased. Handle the footage, tell Mona to bury it, and call. It's season ruining, the tree judge remarked, stopping the camera, causing Chrissy's lawyer to become agitated. Cam was locked in because the voicemail implied a cover-up, deception, and possibly interference in an existing case. It also revealed that Chrissy had cheated and that she knew she would be caught, so she attempted to get it removed with assistance from the top. Cam was no longer even grinning, and the court had heard enough of his protests, so it was too late. When the second recording began, it wasn't from the hotel. Instead, it was about the lady he had fought producers to defend, bought rings for, and wept over on red carpets. At last, Jim raised his head, his eyes vacant, and looked straight at Chrissy, as though he had forgotten who she was. Even the baifs now appeared shaken. An unidentified crew member had secretly uploaded a Love and Hip Hop New York trailer months prior, in which Chrissy and Yandy were seen conversing behind the scenes. Chrissy remarked, I'm not dumb, I know. Jim's loyal, but loyalty don't fix bored Reggie makes me feel on what was supposed to be a relaxed day. However, their talk was anything but casual, and Mona is aware that if this comes out, I'm out. Yandy's response, you know Cam despises him, but you're playing with fire, girl. You get caught. This is war, not just a disagreement. That tape struck a chord because the public was now more interested in strategy than infidelity, such as how the whole Chrissy and Jim romance was a staged brand rather than a real bond. And even worse, it exposed Mona. If producers had known this months earlier and continued filming the engagement special while promoting the forever love angle, what else had they fabricated by now? Blogs were on fire in Lubbock towns. Followers were switching sides in real time. and Chrissy's name was trending on social media with Mama Jones, Judas, and liability setup queen. As she rushed past security and into the corridor outside the EA court where TMZ cameras were waiting, she sobbed, "That woman destroyed my son's life," adding, "She's a snake, and I want VH1 to burn with her." Your mother was correct all along. Security attempted to stop her, but the damage was done. The footage went viral in minutes. One TikTok even stitched the hotel clip with Mama Jones's tirade and captioned it. However, as the second clip's audio ended, Cam's attorney got back up to show the judge a paper.